Hello, and welcome back to Your Story is Your Portal. And today we are going to be talking about the interesting topic of manifesting. So, I think at the moment there are so many people that are understanding that we really are creators of our own future. And you hear all the time people talking about how important it is to have clarity and that you cannot manifest something unless you really know exactly what it is that you want to manifest. So, and then if you understand what it is that you want to manifest, then you're able to really feel into it. You're able to get onto that frequency. And, if you can really do that and you can really focus on that and really have that clarity, then it is absolutely possible. And I definitely showed the way for that when I ended up purchasing the building in Puerto Vallarta not long after Azuka had passed away. And it all seemed completely impossible to be buying a building when, I was completely in debt and that I was still in that grieving process. But because I was in that situation and because I had absolute clarity that I wanted my story to look like this. So, it was very clear. It was a dream that I had with Asuka that we were going to be creating a retreat center where we would be, dancing and writing. So I would be inspiring writers to write their books and he would be inspiring people to dance. And so, the creativity together would have been an amazing combination. So after he passed, and I had messages from the other side across the veil to make that dream a reality. And because at the time I was really in that place of grief and also really understanding, what is possible when you do have clarity, then I was able to manifest that. And I had a lot of people, speaking to me and saying, oh, you're a master manifester. You can manifest anything. But the secret of achieving that was surrender. And I remember at the time saying, if not this, what else? Because I was, lost in my grief. And so I had a very, very centered, focused approach. I didn't think of anything else, and there wasn't any other option. I was living it, breathing it, feeling it, resonating with it. It was exactly what I wanted. And, I moved into the building even before I purchased the building so that I was living into that. And here I am doing that again. It was important to create a writer's environment where I was close to the beach. I wanted to be surrounded by the jungle and nature. I wanted the ocean breeze. I wanted a pool. And so, again, knowing that I know how to do this, I have a very, very centered approach to manifesting. I know what I want. I'm very clear with it. I can resonate at that frequency. I can feel it and I can do it. So it is absolutely true that you can create your story. You absolutely can create your own reality. And as long as you can be absolutely committed to that with absolute clarity, then anything is possible. And we are the creators of our reality. We are the creators of our own story. So, literally, your story is your portal. Um, However, the minute you have that level of clarity and commitment to something, you're closing down all your other options and infinite possibilities that are out there, you know, in the universe, in the quantum field of possibilities and choices. So the minute that you do um, collapse that into one single vision, then the quantum field and the field of possibilities basically closes down, and you are now just focused in that way. So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? You know, and we're talking about your story as your portal. So is it better to have the clarity of saying, this is exactly what I want, and learning how to really totally embody that and become that? You know, to do that is not easy because you have to be 100% clear. And, you know, when you are 100% clear and you can embody it, then it's possible. But for most people, um, they can't do that, you know? Like for most people, if I said, what is your ultimate dream? What is your ultimate goal? And they said, oh, I want to own a retreat center in Puerto Vallarta, and it's got to have 18 beds. But I have no money, and all the reasons why they can't have it. And it doesn't matter how much they resonate into that, how many emotions they put into it, how clear they are, the unconscious mind is going to be, niggling, saying, well, how are you going to do that? You don't have the money for that. You can't move to Puerto Vallarta. How are you going to survive until you found investors? You know, there's going to be all of this programming that's running in the background, which basically means that you won't create what it is that you want to create. So, you know, it's a conundrum, right? It's a conundrum, this whole manifesting thing. Either you've got to have absolute clarity and absolute conviction, feel the emotions, feel the frequency to be able to get exactly what you want. You can't be nebulous. You can't think, oh, this or this or this or something better. No, you have to have absolute clarity. So, what are the alternatives? The alternative is that if you release, if you surrender into the infinite field of possibilities, then infinity of possibilities and choices are available to you. And, you know, there are those that live that way. There are those that say, you know, the universe will decide my future. The universe will decide what possibilities I have in my life. And in some way, that is a better way of being because you're not closing down all the other possibilities that would be open for you. You know, if you live your life in that way, as actually mostly I have lived my life in that way. You know, when I left England to go sailing around the world, I didn't know what it was going to be like to sail around the world. I didn't know what was going to be like to cross an Indian Ocean. I didn't know what it would be like to live in Africa or to live in a desert island for 3 months. I didn't know where that went. I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I had the most incredible experience because I was in the field of infinite possibilities. And so when you're in the field of infinite possibilities, then you're completely open to meeting people, to opening that field of living an amazing life. So that is where the way I have lived my life, most of my life until the last few years with Puerto Vallarta. You know, I really have lived into that. Let's just see what the universe has in store for me, and let's be open to all of those infinite possibilities of where I can take my skills, my knowledge, my wisdom. So that is that's an interesting way of living your life versus right now where we're being told it's important you have clarity. It's important that you know exactly what you want. You need to have absolute clarity. You can't manifest unless you've got absolute clarity. And so, you know, we run retreats to help you have that clarity. September the 13th, Jennifer and I are going to do a 7-day immersive retreat talking about clarity, talking about how do you get that clarity? how do you look at all of your options to find your true soul calling and your true north, right? But what if you your clarity tells you that you want to be open to infinite possibilities? And the reason why I'm doing this solo episode right now is to really help people understand that when you get out of your normal environment, when you leave your 9 till 5, you leave your nice, comfortable, safe environment, and you come to the jungle of Mexico, and you're surrounded by the beauty of the environment, of the elements. Um, you are putting yourself in a different environment where infinite possibilities are possible. Infinite possibilities are possible. So you can go in two directions. And this is some of the things that we talk about on retreat. Um, oh, do you want to find your true soul compass, your true north? Or do you want to find your soul calling and be open to infinite possibilities? Those options are both available to you. And this is why being on a 7-day immersive retreat with Jennifer and myself in Sayulita, Mexico, is going to give you the help to decide which direction do you want to go. Do you want absolute clarity? If you have got a very clear version and you need that clarity, that little extra step, like you're standing on the edge of clarity and you're like, okay, I just need to really focus and I really need to understand where I'm going to go with this. Then that is where we can help you find that true north. Or if you're at that point where your soul, you feel like your soul is calling, your soul is saying, listen to me, listen to me. It's like the second half of our life. The first half of our life, we've spent a lifetime of living into goals and expectations, proving our success, becoming successful. And then the second half of our life is about reflection. It's about our true soul. It's about quite being quiet to be able to listen. We've spent the first half of our life people pleasing, maybe raising your family, making, sacrificing yourself, for your family, for your career, um, to prove your success. And now you're at the point where you say, okay, now it's me. Now it's all about me. I want to discover me. I want to discover my soul. And this is what you will do at the Soul Compass Retreat. You will be discovering your soul and your soul calling. And that is what we're going to be helping you do. So whether it is that your true soul calling is a very clear, focused manifestation of what you desire, or it is a recognition, a surrendering to your soul calling and really tapping into that and understanding I'm not people pleasing anymore. I don't have to prove my success. I don't have to be at the pinnacle of my career. Now it's me. Now it's my turn. Now I can love myself and I can see what is it that my soul really wants in my second half of my life. No people pleasing, just me. So if you're listening to this and you're saying, I don't know, Julie, I don't know if I'm in a position where I want to be manifesting with absolute clarity, or I want to know what is my true soul calling. Either way, if you're listening to this and you're feeling that pull, if your soul is kind of tweaking and you're thinking, I need this right now, then don't delay, because the more you think about it, the procrastination is going to be there, and you're going to be second guessing, and you're going to have all those other things pulling at you. You're going to have your family pulling at you saying, oh, you can't go away for 7 days. You're going to have your job saying, oh no, you can't, we can't do without you for 7 days. You're going to have your partner say, whoa, you can't spend that money on yourself. There's going to be many reasons why you can't bring yourself and sit right here with me in Sayulita in Mexico and enjoy the sunset, and go for a walk on the beach and talk about your soul purpose as we enjoy the ocean, walking the beach, do fire ceremonies at nighttime, and really embrace the four elements. You're not going to do any of that and get clarity around your soul calling or clarity around what you want to manifest if you stay in your present environment. You're going to be here a year later saying, I know there's more. I know there's more. I just need to go. I just need to get a little bit more clarity. I just need to pick up those clues. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen in your own environment. You have to remove yourself. You have to focus on yourself. And you can do it for 7 days, or if you feel like 7 days is just too big a commitment for all the other people that you're pleasing right now, then come for 3 days. We have a 3-day retreat from the 20th to the 23rd of September. So choose which pathway, but make the choice and make it now, and stop procrastinating, because your soul is calling you, and your story is your portal to your life purpose. So let's figure that out together. I'm looking forward to seeing you right here in this villa, September the 13th or September the 20th. Okay, thank you so much. And don't forget, your story is your portal to your life purpose. Bye for now.